Hey, greetings to you. Greetings. Great to have you with us, my friends. El Rushbo, ensconced firmly behind the golden EIB microphone on Friday. Let's hit it.
Live from the Southern Command in sunny South Florida, it's Open Line Friday.
Open Line Friday means whatever you wish to talk about is fine with me. It doesn't have to be what people usually think is discussed here. It can be anything you want. I mean, we have some limits, but I'm not going to bother mentioning what they are. The point is, it doesn't have to be the top-line political news of the day. Telephone number 800-282-2882. Email address lrushbo@eibnet.us. Grab audio soundbite number 21. You all remember Joe the Plumber. Joe the Plumber went up and asked Obama, why in the world do you want to take everything from me and give it to other people? And Obama said, well, we need to spread the wealth. We need to redistribute the money. And Joe the Plumber became he became a star for a few news cycles and so forth because of the real guy question that he asked and how Obama just stepped in. Same thing happened to Pocahontas Monday. So it's earlier this week. Look how long it took for this to surface. She was in Grimes, Iowa, during a campaign event. It's not exactly analogous to Joe the Plumber, but it's the same kind of thing. She is having a town hall event in Iowa, and she's talking about forgiving student loans, which, just like I have warned you that the Democrats someday, it may not be in our lifetimes, someday, in fact, they've made the first step already, are going to figure out the one thing stopping them is elections. And what has Schiff done? Schiff has said during the impeachment trial this week that the ballot box cannot be trusted. We cannot entrust Trump's fitness to serve at the ballot box. We can't trust the voters. That's why we've got to get rid of Trump now. Don't doubt me. I know when I first made that prediction that the Democrats are going to make a move on elections, I know the reaction some of you got. In fact, I'll bet it was some of you along, oh, Rush, I just got a friend of mine convinced to listen to you today. Then you go and say something wacko like that. Oh, come on. How many of you? And now, lo and behold, have I not been borne out on this? And this is just phase one. They are going to continue making these kinds of moves. These are people obsessed with power and their entitlement to it. And votes are the only thing standing in the way. Take a look. Hillary Clinton, any number of Democrats have talked. They've complained about having to campaign and having to raise money and having to go to town halls and having to do all of these events. It is just who they are. Well, here comes Elizabeth Warren, and I predicted that at some point during some campaign, the Democrats are going to make a move on the millennial vote by suggesting that all student loans should be forgiven. And Pocahontas has gotten as close to this as any Democrat has. That all student loan debt will be forgiven. She thinks it's magic. She thinks it's something that Americans and their families and the students are going to just, oh, man, this is great, because student loan debt is humongous. But who gave us this? Who is it that's destroyed the value of a college education? I would submit to you it's people like Elizabeth Warren. It's people like the American left who have not stood in the way of just outrageous rising costs in education. So now the whole concept, they tell everybody for decades and decades, you don't have a prayer if you don't get a college education. You're not going to get a decent job. You're certainly not going to get a well-paying job. You're not going to have a substantive career unless you get a college education. Parents want the best for their kids, so they get on the band. You got to go to college, little Johnny. If you don't go to college, you don't have a prayer. So everybody's conditioned. Got to go to college. Got to go to college. Got to go to college. No matter what. Go to college, rack up hundreds of thousands of dollars in debt. If you're going to be a doctor, if you're going to be something requiring a lot of postgraduate work, tens of thousands of dollars in debt if you're just going to get a simple BS, a BA, whatever. I submit to you it's on purpose. Who runs the student loan program? The federal government does. What good is a college education that takes you 15 years to pay off? 15 years to get ahead of yourself. What's... And I submit to you that people, either by design or from incompetence, have arranged this system to be in the current condition that it is. It's like, where are all of these deadly viruses coming from? Communist countries. This latest virus got everybody scared to death. Where's it coming from? The Chi-Coms. What's happening in all of these homeless tent cities in California? Medieval diseases that had been eradicated are starting to crop up. Do not doubt me when I tell you that liberalism, left-wingism, socialism, communism, folks, it destroys. It is not compassion. It is not love. It is not wanting the best for everybody. It is not equality. It's not sameness. It's not fairness. It is the epitome of mean-spiritedness. Liberalism looks at people and sees failure, inability. Liberals look at people, average people in their eyes, with contempt. So anyway, here's Pocahontas making the pitch for forgiving student loan debt. The problem for her is that there are a lot of Americans who have behaved and lived responsibly. And one of them confronted her Monday. This guy said, okay, you're going to forgive all of these people who've taken out all these loans for their kids. What about me? I worked 2 jobs. I sacrificed going on vacation. I sacrificed, my wife, my family sacrificed everything so that my kid would not have to borrow money to go to school. I sacrificed everything so that I could pay for it. Am I going to get my money back? And she looked at him and laughed. Said, of course not. We have the audio of this. It's about 32 seconds, and there's a lot of crowd noise, but I think you'll be able to hear it if you haven't already.
I just want to ask one question. My daughter's getting out of school. I saved all my money. She doesn't have any student loans. Am I going to get my money back? Of course not. So you're going to pay for people who didn't save any money, and those of us that did the right thing get screwed.
No, it's not anybody got screwed. When we started,
of course we did. My buddy had fun, bought a car, went on vacations. I saved my money. He made more than I did. But I worked a double shift, worked extra. My daughter's work, she was 10. So you're laughing. Yeah, that's exactly what you're doing. We did the right thing, and we get screwed.
You're laughing at me. She wasn't. She was smiling. She thought she was dealing with a kook. She thought she was dealing with a nut. She thought she was dealing with some kind of, wacko. But the guy's got a point. My daughter's getting out of school. I saved all my money. See, she doesn't realize that there are millions of Americans who hear her when she says she's going to forgive student loans. She's going to forgive the debt. Well, just like in illegal immigration, a lot of people came here, followed the rules. A lot of people came here and became legal immigrants and then citizens. And they hear the Democrats talking about opening the border and letting anybody in, letting anybody become a citizen as soon as they can. Don't worry about the law. And they say, wait, what about me? I followed the law. This isn't fair. The Democrats laugh at them and smirk at them. And the same thing with this guy. And he's got a valid point. If you're going to start giving away, if you're going to give away federal money to people who have not lived a responsible life or have not done things to deserve it, what about me? Are you going to give me my money back that I spent on my daughters? Of course not. What do you have? So in Elizabeth Warren's view, everybody that has unpaid student loan debt is poor, is downtrodden, is miserable, has somehow been victimized by the unfairness of America. And she thinks there are far more of those people than there are responsible people. And so she's firing her shotgun, trying to hit the biggest number of people she can by announcing a giveaway policy. And when she's confronted by somebody, so wait a minute, you're giving away essentially my money to people who have not behaved responsibly. I assume the responsibility of getting my kid in college. I didn't take out any loans. I didn't borrow money from anybody, and I'm not using anybody else's money. Am I going to get mine back? If you're giving money away, am I going to get mine back? No, of course not. Now, in my mind, this shows you who Elizabeth Warren really is. She doesn't care about people. She cares about controlling people. This morning on CBS, I guess she was on the co-host Tony DeCampo said, look, last night there was a video surfaced, a lot of people talking about it today. For Americans who were in that guy's position, who felt they did the right thing, and bailing out those who didn't is not the right thing to do. What's your response?
Look, we build a future going forward by making it better. By that same logic, what would we have done? Not started Social Security because we didn't start it last week for you or last month for you?
Oh, so it's just a matter of timing. So we're going to start this policy today. And if you happen to live responsible yesterday and the week and the month and the years before that, sorry, too bad. We build a future going forward by making it better. It doesn't make it, but this is the kind of stuff that divides people. The Democrats running around talking about how they are unifiers and they have the compassion and understanding. I think this is a great sound, but I think this illustrates a rising awareness on the part of average people to who liberal Democrats are and what they stand for and how destructive their policies are. And it's things like this that make Trump look even better day to day. Now, Charles Gasparino, I mentioned this earlier in the program, first hour. Charles Gasparino, Fox News or Fox Business Channel, was on with Tucker Carlson last night about something he's heard about Obama really not liking Crazy Bernie. I mean, it's a real problem here that apparently Obama is so opposed to Crazy Bernie, he's thinking about making a national statement about it. The question from Tucker Carlson, what do you know about this?
President Obama believes that Bernie Sanders is both unelectable in a general election and he's a bridge too far. My sources are people, you should know, that spoke directly with President Obama. They are Democrats. They are people that work on Wall Street often. They are much more moderate than you would say a Bernie Sanders supporter. What we have right now behind the scenes is a civil war in the Democratic Party. Woke, young, white liberals who are far more liberal than the African Americans in polling, far more liberal than and white suburban women, and angry. Right. And President Obama knows this. And listen, he may or may not go public with this stuff. I spoke with some Democratic consultants. Probably a mistake to go public because then you stir the hornet's nest here. You further disrupt this coalition.
Right. Yeah, well, there isn't. By the way, haven't we heard, too, that Obama's not crazy about Biden? That Obama doesn't want to win. So who is it that Biden wants in this race? If Biden is not the guy he wants, if it's not Crazy Bernie, then who's Obama want? Does that leave Elizabeth Warren? Does it leave the field open for Michelle Maybell Obama to come in at the last moment? Does he want Michael Mini-Mike Bloomberg? But the point is, as Gasparino says, let's put everything on the hopper here. You've got the Democrats supposedly unified, trying to get Donald Trump thrown out of office in the election of 2016 overturned. They're doing everything they can to remove him. By the way, they have not made the case. They've got 2 articles of impeachment, and they have